What's going on, guys? Flame HD here, and welcome back to a lineup prediction video. This is for the Middlesbrough game on Sunday. So this will be our second game in the Premier League. You guys seem to enjoy the first one, and obviously I said in the first video that this would become sort of important games for Sunderland. Now, our home game, it's obviously our first home game of the season against Middlesbrough, and I thought I'd bring you obviously the lineup, a prediction lineup for that match. So we're going to get straight into it, and to start off in goal is obviously Vito Minone. Now, he done alright last week against Manchester City. A few questionable decisions. We're not going to go into them in detail or examine them or anything like that. So, you know, I thought he had a solid performance. Few mistakes by the defence, but let's just not carry on with that. The next person on the list is Patrick Van Aanholt, the only left back that we have at Sunderland. Now, I have some sort of, well, I think I have a theory that David Moyes is going to bring in another left back. I'm not sure who that left back is at the moment, but we'll soon see if he decides to bring one in before the window closes. I think it's September the 2nd it closes. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, Van Aanholt will be our left back against Middlesbrough. Again, he done alright, I suppose, but see, the penalty that he gave away against Manchester City when Sterling went down, you know, it wasn't Van Aanholt's fault. Sterling was already going down, and you know, just Van Aanholt's contact just made him go down even faster. So obviously the referee seen the contact, the referee gave the penalty. Aguero stuck it away, so there's not much else to go on about that. Besides that, Van Aanholt, I think Van Aanholt was responsible for letting the cross come in. That led to Paddy McNair's own goal, which was unfortunate for the lad because I think McNair needed a better debut than he did. But it's unfortunate, obviously it's unfortunate, but there's nothing really we can do about that. So, yeah, Van Aanholt left back. Our next centre back is obviously Younes Kaboul. Now, there's rumours around the internet that Younes Kaboul is being linked with a move to Watford, or that Watford are closing in on Kaboul. By the time you're seeing this video, there might already be a deal on the table, or he may have moved, I don't know. But I'm hoping that, like, as a Sunderland fan, Kaboul doesn't decide to leave the club, because I do like Younes Kaboul as a centre back. I think he's solid. Him and Kone have a good partnership going on. Obviously, you know the saga with Lamine Kone and everything else in the mix. But to be honest, guys, Kaboul is a solid defender for us. He's one of our better centre backs at the club, apart from Papi Djilabodji. And yeah, I really do hope Kaboul stays. Now, obviously, his partner is obviously going to be big man Lamine Kone. And Lamine Kone needs no introduction. Again, you know, he's a solid centre-back. There's still a lot of controversy going on about his transfer to Everton. But according to what I've been reading and what I've been able to see, Kone knew nothing of the statement that his agent released to the club asking for a transfer away from the club. So it looks like his agent's trying to get money rather than, you know, Kone wanting to leave. The sooner the transfer window closes, the bloody better, because I really want Kone to stay. We need Kone to stay, rather than, you know, him leaving and leaving us short at the back. I mean, we do have cover, like I say, in Papi Djilabodji or Paddy McNair that we've brought in, but I'd prefer Kone at the back rather than anyone else. Moving on to the right back, guys. Now, last week I predicted Billy Jones to start, but Jones didn't, and Donald Love, our new signing from Manchester United, did. Now, I've put, obviously Donald Love isn't in FIFA, but I've created an approximate Ultimate Team card to put in his place. So Donald Love starts at right back. Well, I think he will anyway. He had a solid debut, I reckon. You know, he won most of his battles down that right hand side. I think he managed to keep David Silva pretty much quiet. Oh, sorry, not David Silva. It was playing left wing. Nolito, I think it was. So yeah, he kept Nolito fairly quiet, and yeah, I think he had a solid debut. So moving on to the CDMs, and this one's a little bit tricky, guys, because obviously I want Lee Cattermole to start, and I want Jan Kirchhoff to start as well. Those two would be very solid in the centre of our midfield, but obviously I have to go realism, and since Kirchhoff, no Cattermole was on the bench last week, you know, I've got to think to myself, well, will Moyes change his tactics? Will he not? So I'm going to stick Jack Rodwell, who had a meh of a game against Manchester City, and John O'Shea in there as well. Now, John O'Shea, for me, is not a CDM. He is a mediocre centre-back at best. I still think he'll get downgraded in FIFA 17. But he done alright, I suppose, cutting the passes out in front of the back four. Rodwell played as a more advanced centre mid rather than a defensive one, supporting Barini and Defoe up front. But yeah, we'll see about that one, because like I say, I would like to see Kirchhoff and Cattermole start, but I think Rodwell and O'Shea will both start in place of the two I've just mentioned. That being said, it is Middlesbrough, so it's kind of like, it is a derby, but at the same time it's not a derby, because they're not exactly our direct rivals. But at the same time, they're the only other North-East team in the Premier League, so that's how it is a derby. Now, I would like to see Sunderland go, start well against Middlesbrough, like we did against City, but this time I'd like us to push Middlesbrough and keep pushing them until we get like 1, 2, 3 goals, because I know we can do it. We did it against City, and we had City on the back ropes for a good portion of the game, until obviously their class started showing. So for me, guys, I think Rodwell and O'Shea will start, despite me wanting other players to start. Moving on to the midfield, I'll start with the cam. The cam is obviously going to be Fabio Barini, because for me, Barini is better in the middle rather than out on the wings. I think he done alright in the middle behind Jermaine Defoe against Manchester City last week. He managed to link up well with Januzaj when he come on. He managed to link up with, who was playing left wing, I think it was Lynden Gooch, I think it was, who had a solid debut himself. He also managed to link up with Watmore out on the right hand side, but once Wabi Kazri come on and obviously Januzaj come on, we started to attack a lot more. We had a bit more pace up front, which was really nice to see. But for me, I think Barini will start in the middle again, and hopefully he'll be able to link with the left mid, right mid, and strikers. And starting with the left mid, I would like to see Wabi Kazri, because for me, Kazri needs to start. Well, he needs to be in the starting lineup from now on, guys. Obviously, it was nice to see Lynden Gooch be given a league debut from the under-21s, but in my opinion, Gooch isn't good enough or doesn't have the experience to be a first-team starter in the Premier League. He's alright as a substitute, don't get me wrong, but not as, he's not a starter, not yet. So I'd like to see Kazri start on the right. I would love to see Adnan Januzaj play on the right. Kazri to start on the left, Januzaj to start on the right, because Januzaj, he's got a bit of pace about him. There's already a chant. I can't remember what that chant is. I'm trying to remember it, but it's just not coming to us. So yeah, Januzaj to start right mid. Bit of pace against, I think it's George Friend, the Middlesbrough left back. George Friend isn't exactly the fastest, but hopefully Januzaj can cause a few problems for him. And he linked up well, Januzaj, he linked up well with Jermaine Defoe in terms of, you know, creating chances. He managed to get the ball into Barini, who then got the ball into when Januzaj come on for the Sunderland goal, he managed to get the ball into Barini, who give it to Rodwell, and then who give it to Defoe to finish it. And it was a fantastic goal, don't get me wrong. And obviously, you know who the striker is. It's an obvious choice. It's Jermaine Defoe. So that's going to be this. Like, hopefully, that's going to be the starting lineup, guys. And yeah, so Manone, Van Aanholt, Kabul, Kone, and Donald Love in defence. In the midfield, you've got Jack Rodwell, John O'Shea, and Fabio Barini. Wabi Kazri and Adnan Januzaj on the wings, and Jermaine Defoe up front. Moving on to the substitutes. Now, the substitutes I kind of got wrong last week. I'm sorry. But to start off, we have to have a substitute goalkeeper, which is Jordan Pickford. It's the obvious choice. He's the only other keeper really at the club apart from Steve Harper. I don't even know if Harper's still with us. He might have been given a 1-year contract extension, but I'm not really sure. The next substitute I'm going to pick is Paddy McNair. And McNair, again, would be better used as a substitute rather than a first team starter, so that's not really a problem. The next substitute I'm going to pick is Landon Gooch, or Lyndon Gooch, however you want to pronounce his name, because Gooch is one of them young lads that can come on and change a game, without a doubt. He's the same as Watmore in that respect, and I do hope that, you know, he's given a chance in the Premier League this season alongside Watmore, as well as another player I'll mention in a little while. But Landon Gooch, for me, he had a solid league debut last week, and he done alright. He played really solid. So big up, big up Landon Gooch. Next substitute is Duncan Watmore. No introduction needed. Watmore can come on, deliver a bit of pace. He likes to run at defenders. Enough said, that's exactly what we're going to need against Middlesbrough. Next substitute after that is Pappy, and if I remember how to spell his name, it's DJI. There he's there, Pappy Djilabodji. So, yeah, for me, Djilabodji gets another place on the bench just in case, say, John O'Shea gets tired. Djilabodji can play in the centre defensive mid positions if needed. You know, he's a very versatile defender. So I'd like to actually see him be given a chance in the Premier League for us. He didn't play, like I say, guys, last week he didn't play as many games for Chelsea as he wanted to, but given a chance in the Sunderland shirt, I think he might do well. The last two substitutes, the first one is going to be Jermaine Lenz, because Jermaine Lenz, he's alright in short bursts, but he's not a 90-minute man, so he can be one of those players who can come off the bench, you know, work a bit of magic, jink himself into the box, get a shot off, perhaps get a goal or two. The last substitute is going to be Joel Osoro, which again, he's not in FIFA, so I've had to create a custom card for him. And yeah, guys, I think Joel Osoro, again, given a chance, can be the next Duncan Watmore for us. Bring him through the ranks and everything, and yeah, that'll, you know, if he comes through the ranks like Duncan Watmore's done, keeps his head down, works hard, you know, he's got blistering pace. Like I say, I watched every other pre-season game, and Joel Osoro. Joel Osoro can be, sorry about that, my phone decided to respond to me. Don't do that. Wasn't expecting anyone to ring us. I do apologise for that, guys. But yeah, I think Osoro, given a chance in the Sunderland shirt, he's got blistering pace. I watched every other pre-season game, and you know, he likes to run at defenders, likes to get 1v1. So that's it for the Sunderland prediction. If you want me to do this every week, do let me know, because I'll be more than happy to do that. So thank you so very much for watching. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video and want to see some more, drop a thumbs up as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one.